Right, hi guys. We'll see if we can try that again. I say, I haven't got a clue what was going on before. Hopefully you can hear me now. Yeah, if anyone is there and you can hear me, please leave a little comment. Say, I've got no sound whatsoever, but on my little bar it's looking like the webcam is picking up the volume now, or my voice. So yeah, fingers crossed, we're going to be working this time. You can hear it loud and clear. Awesome. Yeah, haven't got a clue what was going on. Oh, let's turn that down. Yeah, so it doesn't help that I've not done a live stream, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months, maybe even longer. So yes, I had none of my settings in OBS. Obviously, I haven't looked at OBS until about an hour ago. So yeah, so it's like, okay, so when something doesn't work, it's like, I haven't even got a clue where to go, what to do. So yeah, if in doubt, unplug things, plug them back in, but then that caused a few other problems. But yeah, you can hear me now, which is awesome. Yeah, it's good to have you guys here. I say, unfortunately, my earbuds aren't working because normally I'm playing music or sometimes even watching a movie when I'm doing stuff. But obviously, because of YouTube and copyright and all that kind of things, I don't really want to have the radio player going and then get copyright strikes. So yeah, no music. So I have just plugged in my other earbuds. Hopefully, they'll charge up soon. Yeah, because basically this stream, it might last an hour, might last 2, might last 4, might last 5. I'm really not too sure. All it basically is I've got a few things that I want to get done today. One of them is obviously painting these lovely orc figures that you may have seen recently. So yeah, I'm going to finish off painting them. But I'm also doing a lot of like D&D stuff. Basically, I'm going to get a group of people together to play Dungeons and Dragons, well, around my place. So I've printed off loads of figures, which I'll show you sort of throughout the stream. But I'm also going to be starting to make like dungeon floor tiles. Obviously, one of the rooms I'm making is going to be round, obviously. But then we're going to have like a whole variety of other sort of floor tiles, basically. So I'm going to be making them as well this afternoon. And I thought, well, while I'm sitting here, busy sort of making stuff, yeah, do a live stream. If anyone wants to watch, great. If there's no one there, well, that's still fine because I'm still going to be just cracking on and having fun doing some building. So yeah, I'm glad the sound is better. Bowsmith coming in blaring a little bit. Right, cheers. I shall have a little look. Right, there we go. This should sound better. Yeah, so what it is, because I haven't used OBS for quite some time, all my settings somehow had just disappeared. So I had no settings in OBS, I had no screen overlays, I had no nothing basically. So that's why all you've got is the 2 cameras, one obviously facing me, one on the desk, and there's no sort of like fancy overlays, subscriber count, viewer count, all that kind of stuff. It is very simple because I need to set it up about half hour ago. Yeah, so hopefully the sound does sound better now. Again, if the sound is a bit weird, let me know. But again, going to my little screen, I can see a little bar moving, and the bar seems to be around about the green, just hits the yellow occasionally, and I think it was hitting the red previously, which is probably why it was a bit too loud. But yeah, fingers crossed that's going to go well. I say, apologies, I haven't done a live stream for quite some time. No real excuse. I've been busy recently with weddings, which is kind of good for me because it means I'm getting paid, because I haven't done weddings for quite some time because of obviously COVID. So yeah, so doing the weddings is obviously good because I'm getting some money coming in, which is nice. But yeah, so this afternoon I've kind of like given myself 4 or 5 hours just to potter about, make things, paint things, and basically be a big kid and have some fun. So yeah, that's why I thought I'd do a live stream. I wasn't sure if many people would be on, because normally my live streams, or when I used to do them, were like 8 o'clock in the evening. So that's when I know a lot of people, or a lot more people, are on. But I thought, hey, why not? Just go live now as I'm doing stuff. So yeah, anytime, any questions, just by all means ask. I'll try and obviously answer them. But otherwise, yeah, so I'm going to do a bit more painting on these little things. Obviously, these aren't going to be used in any kind of like Warhammer campaign or anything like that. Not that I play Warhammer. I just like the miniatures. Yeah, I'm going to be painting these up, and then I'm going to be making some sort of base terrain and having all 3 of them on there basically. So it's like a little diorama of obviously 3 female orcs that are rather buff. Yeah, definitely got plenty of muscles, these ones, which is pretty cool. So yeah, using a variety of paints, obviously good old sort of like Warhammer paints, Vallejo paints, and obviously the Citadel contrast paints. These are kind of one of my favourite ones to use, just because they are so simple, and the effects I think look good. It's like the hair. I would try and hold this near the camera, but it's basically it's my phone. It won't focus, so I can't really get too near for you to be able to sort of see it. But if you obviously saw the thumbnail image and you saw the hair, that was just basically done with contrast paint. So it's like a couple of coats of that, and obviously in the sort of the nooks and crevices, it's got like a nice dark orange, and then where the highlights would be, it's obviously like a nice yellowy, sort of like orangish colour. So yeah, contrast paints are really good for somebody who's not all that good at painting like myself, and obviously it saves you having to paint and then do washes and other stuff basically. So yeah, I do like contrast paints. Not cheap though, that's the only thing. They are pretty expensive. Right, so say I'm just going to sort of like crack on, do some bits. Yeah, by all means, any questions or anything you want to ask, just sort of pop it up in the comments. Hopefully I'll look up and see them. It's one of those problems. It's one of my favourite colours, this skeleton bone one. Obviously use it quite a lot, and there's I don't think there's much left. If you can, guys, while you're there, if you can give the video a thumbs up. Obviously I had quite a few before, but they've obviously all disappeared because I had to sort of restart. And so YouTube seems to like the old thumbs up. Well, it's weird because I think YouTube doesn't seem to care if it's a thumbs up or thumbs down. It sort of still sees it as being interaction, I think, with the channel. So it's really weird though, because I'm sitting here and there's no music, and normally I always have music. But I don't know why. I might say they've been playing up recently. Let's try again. It's always so much nicer to work with music. No, they're not working still. It's a pain. It's like technology. It's great when it works, and when it doesn't work, it's pants. Bo Smith, 8 AM. Terrain videos and Orky tank inspired you to save your old printer. Well, I must admit, I wish. I mean, obviously, most people would have had VCRs in their day. Obviously, if you're old enough, and yeah, I would have gone through quite a few VCRs in my time, and obviously just throw them away because obviously once they break or they're old, they're no good. But yeah, I mean, VCRs have got to be one of the best things you could get to take apart. But I didn't have one. But so the old printer, I must admit, there's quite a lot of good stuff in that printer. And yeah, that tank didn't come out too bad. And there was still loads and loads of little bits left over. So yeah, if you've got an old printer, definitely don't throw it away. Yeah, take it apart and see what you can make out. If the sound and things are bad, it's because I've not used OBS for ages, and so I literally only set things up about an hour ago because I was going to do some model making, and I thought, well, I'll do a live stream while I'm doing it. Next time I do a live stream, I will make sure and check beforehand everything's working, basically. Good afternoon from North Germany. It's like Morgoth from Angbad. Yeah, good to have you guys here. Sound has gone. Why is it gone? It's on my screen. It's showing it's working. Again, the fact that I can't hear myself is a pain. But if I put something on so I can hear myself, you're then going to get the sound several times. Right, let's get some. I've got to get some earbuds from somewhere. Right, let's see if these work, and then hopefully I'll be able to hear myself, or not, and see what's going wrong. Right, just checking, is that working? Right, there we go. Sound has died, sound is back, it's good, now it is fixed. The Phil Fluffy, the problem is I didn't actually do anything. So why the sound would have gone, I don't know. Again, usual thing, technology, when it works it's great, if it doesn't, my go-to method is obviously turn it off, turn it on again. Alright, still doesn't sound all that good though, does it? Right, well, fingers crossed it'll stay. Oh man. Yeah, it's working. I guess it just cuts off. Yeah, it shouldn't do. I say again, I'm going to keep using this excuse throughout the whole of this stream. I've not done a live stream in I don't know how long, 6 months or so. So I've not checked anything for ages. All my settings, I say, they've all gone from OBS. Which is a shame because obviously I had it all set up, so it was just a case of I just sat down, pushed a couple of buttons. Yeah, so just sat down, pushed a couple of buttons, and it would just work, and it always worked. But yeah, let's say I've had to change a lot of things. Right, I will do some painting and some bits in a minute. Just trying to get things set up. There we go. I've got myself on quiet, so I should be able to hear myself all the time. Just seeing if I get some music in these earbuds. I say 'cause it's really weird because I always find I concentrate better when I've got some sort of like background music. But when there isn't any music, I just find it too quiet. What shall I have a look for? Let's just try and find anything to listen to. So how are you guys? Are you guys all alright? I say obviously we've got some people here from Germany, and I'm guessing Bo Smith, if it's 8 AM, you're somewhere in America. Yeah, wherever you guys are, let me know where you guys are and what time of day. So normally my streams are normally 8 o'clock ish in the evening UK, but obviously this one's like 3:30 in the afternoon UK. So it's definitely a lot earlier than I would normally do a stream. But yeah, again, so basically I'm sitting here doing some bits, and I thought I'd see if I can have you guys for company. Obviously, I probably should have looked at OBS last night just to sort of iron out any kinks, make sure it all worked. But hey ho, I'm here now, you're here. Hopefully the sound will stay. Oh man, I'm trying to get some music up. It's asking me to download all kinds of stuff. Is that Mr. T. Pims, Leicester or Leicestershire? Sorry. Okay, this is your normal time, same as me. Phil Fluffy, same here. John, always play some crafting videos or music. Yeah, I say it's always nice to have something on in the background. It's even when I'm like editing. So I've got obviously 2 screens here. So yeah, whenever I'm doing anything, if I'm doing like wedding related work, I'll be like editing the wedding on one screen, and I'll have a movie or Netflix or something on the other one just in the background. Albert Wash, New Zealand. Oh, cool. So that's obviously one joy about doing it now. I guess I'm going to get more people from all over really. Morgoth is strangely, some strange reason, super attracted to female orcs. Well, I must admit, I haven't got any normal orcs here because they're always over there. But yeah, obviously I'm doing a lot more 3D printing now. And obviously you go online, I'm looking at a lot of 3D printed sort of models or models to print, STL files and all that, and obviously there's a whole variety of stuff out there. And yeah, these aren't your normal orcs. But it may, so I don't actually play Warhammer, even though I was going to, but I never kind of got round to it. Imagine having an army of female orcs that look like this. I'm sure that would distract your opponent, and maybe give you the upper hand or the edge to obliterate them while they're all there with their jaws down. Because yeah, these are, as orcs go, these are probably attractive. Certainly fit anyway. Lord Monkfish, audio books are great for painting. Yeah, because I must admit, say, even when I have a movie on, I'm not actually watching the movie, I'm just listening to it, and quite often I'll have a movie that I've watched several times. So even though I'm not watching it, just hearing it, I can visualise what's going on basically. So I'm still trying to get a bit of music, because I'm basically sitting here in my living room chatting to myself, which is kind of weird at the best of times, but even weirder when all I can hear is myself. So there we go. I've got a bit of smooth jazz going in my ears now. Let's see how that's going. Cool. Oh no, I can't. Oh, that's a shame. I've got to have it actually on to. So this is just me chatting to myself now, guys. Again, whenever I've done these in the past, I've had everything set up on all my screens. I can just push a button, I can get this up, push a button, get that up. Obviously, as we can tell, I've got none of that set up. I'm really winging it, and that's why it's now taken half an hour, and I've not done anything other than, well, plug in some earbuds. Morgoth is working on a huge model mock for the Lego UFO. Oh, okay. A large Queen's Command ship. Oh, wow. Because obviously, as you guys might know, I do like Lego as well. That's kind of, well, my first channel was to do with Lego. Not so much just like the making of it, but obviously animating it. Stop motion animation with Lego. So I have got a ton of Lego in, well, it's in a cupboard at the moment. Well, some of it's in a cupboard, some of it's kind of been nabbed by my son. Yeah, he's taken quite a few of the bits. After and learn what am I doing with the foam board? Yeah, so anyone who has just joined, obviously say this stream, it's going to be a couple of hours. It might be 4 hours, it might be 5 hours. If it keeps working, obviously, if OBS doesn't want to work, then it might only be 30 minutes. So yeah, basically, I've got a few things that I'm working on. I like to work on several sort of projects at once. Just because for me, it breaks things up. If I work on just one thing at a time, sometimes I can get bored and lose interest. Not normally, but sometimes. So if I have a few projects on the go, that way I can work on one. If I get a bit bored, I can work on another one. Or in some cases, like when I'm doing painting things, you'll paint something, and then you can't really do the next bit until that first bit's dried. And it might only take half an hour or so, but I kind of get that impatient. I want to be doing something. So yes, the XPS board. Obviously, I'm going to be getting into D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. Something I used to play many moons ago. I've got several people lined up to play with. There's a few more I need to get, because basically I want to do like live D&D, as in not do it online. I want people to come around to my house. We use the boards Obviously I've got a whole variety of little figures, so like a barbarian type, little dwarf wizard, good old wizard, gotta have a wizard, as well as obviously some monsters. So a nice, again, I'll try and get these nearer to the camera or the phone, but it doesn't like to focus in sometimes. So yeah, nice big ogre for them to fight with. So obviously I'm going to be building some floor plans, obviously for dungeons, just so that they can be sort of like moved around. So this is what I love about my 3D printer, being able to go online and get things. And the fact that you can 3D print, but you can 3D print things that obviously work. So you can print something, so this came off in one go, but obviously it's got a working door, which I think is pretty amazing. So yes, I'm going to be doing a lot of D&D stuff. Yeah, because basically, again, I keep looking over there. Every time I look over there, basically what I'm looking at is I've got a big shelf. It's probably about 7 foot long, but about 3 foot deep. And everything I've built over the last sort of year or year and a bit, I think it's a year and a couple of months, is currently sitting over there. And I've run out of room. Basically, some things are piled on top of each other. But the problem I've got over all the stuff over there is that obviously it's all like kind of Warhammer related. And this channel, if anyone doesn't know, this channel I kind of fell into Warhammer. It's not something I intended to do for this channel. My intention was just to sort of make things, anything really. But I started with some Warhammer stuff. Obviously got lots of viewers straight away because of it. And then carried on with Warhammer. Obviously I love the figures, but I don't actually play the game. So that's why I've got a lot of stuff sitting over there, but it's not getting used. It's just gathering dust. So that's why I'm now really doing a lot more Dungeons and Dragons stuff, or just sort of tabletop stuff in general, rather than it being just specifically for Warhammer. It can be used for Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons, and any other kind of tabletop stuff. Just so I can start making stuff that I'm actually going to use. Just because again, it's so much over there. I've even got my children come around every now and then. They come around quite a lot actually, which is good. But yeah, they started taking some of the bits. Just because there's so much there and I've got no room. The only thing I'm definitely keeping, I don't know if you guys have seen the sprue burger I built. I'm going to go and get it because it still makes me laugh every time I look at it. Ooh. Let's quickly pop these back in. Yes, if you haven't seen this, obviously sprue burger, named because obviously it's made from sprues. Obviously quite a nice size burger. So there's a few items over there I'm going to keep, and I've told my kids they can't have, just because I like looking at them. And I say I'm really pleased with how this turned out, and the fact this is made from sprues, I think it's pretty cool. So there's this as the Orc Wizard Tower. I love, because obviously I love orcs, I love wizards. There's a few other bits and pieces, but there's a lot. Again, I keep saying this and I still haven't got around to doing it. I'm going to try and sell some of the stuff that I've made, just because obviously it'll help me buy some more bits and pieces that I can use to build more stuff with. And I know quite a few people have asked interest of some of the stuff, because there is a chap that wants the Orc Stomper, that again was made out of sprues. But I just need to sort of get my bottom in gear and make an Etsy page or eBay, or I don't know, some way that I can sell stuff. Is it just me? Is it very crackly statically? Yeah, again, I don't know why. Normally, because this is coming from the webcam, and normally the webcam is fine for volume, but for some reason I think it's having issues today. But I'm really not too sure why. And I say, I offhand, I'm not sure what buttons to push other than doing what I did before, which was to unplug it and plug it back in. I'm not sure what else I can do. So next time I do a live stream, I will set up a lot more ahead of time. So I literally went on about 2 o'clock. I went on, I had to update OBS because I hadn't updated it, because basically I haven't used it. So yeah, so I do need to sort of check things, make things better, obviously do overlays, because obviously there's no overlay on this, so I can't see how many people are watching. It could just be me here. Who knows? Because it has been a while since I've done one of these. Selling your terrain is crime, in my opinion, or a hobby crime. It discourages people from making their own stuff. Yeah, I don't quite get that. But basically, I've got no more room. I live in a one-bedroom flat, so I don't have a lot of room, especially more so for stuff that I don't use. So if I used it, it'd be great, because then it would have a good purpose. But there's a lot of stuff that's been sitting on this shelf over there for almost a year, and it's never been used. It's like one of the earlier things I made out of sprues was the what was it called? It's kind of like a tank. I'm not sure what it's called now. An Orc vehicle transport tank looking thing, and I made that. That's got to be a good 9-10 months. It's sitting over there, and honestly, if I went up to it now, I reckon I could put my finger on it and get a big scoop of dust, just because it's not being used. So yeah, I really want to start making stuff again, like floor plans, or dungeon tile floor plans, and I'm printing off a lot more 3D stuff. So I really do need extra room for stuff that's going to basically be used, really. And say, rather than it sitting there gathering dust, if someone wants to buy it and use it, great, they get something out of it. I get a little bit of cash that I can go and buy more, well, XPS board or glue or paints, or buy some STL figures, or buy the STL files. So yeah, so I think everyone kind of wins there, but who knows. Simon's Hobby Workshop, hello. Battle Wagon, that was it. Cheers, Albert. Battle Wagon, yeah. Again, see, it's been over there that long, I couldn't even remember what it was called. Obviously, I knew it was made out of sprues. It's an Orc, and that was the extent of what I knew. Have I watched any D&D crafter channels? Not specifically D&D crafter channels, but there's quite a few obviously channels that do, well, basically the whole sort of that tabletop stuff from Warhammer, D&D, and other things. So that's kind of what I wanted this channel to be, was like an all sorts channel. But so I think I did kind of fall into it being Warhammer, and I know a lot of people are here for Warhammer or sprues, so I'm hoping those people won't mind me doing a little bit of D&D stuff as well. But so I want to try and incorporate both really, and make generic sort of terrain that can be used on both, because the other thing I'm going to have a go at doing is making some trees. So I've recently brought, what's this from? Woodland Scenics. So yeah, sort of like shrubbery. Yeah, shrubs, bushes, foliage. So I'm going to have a go at making some trees, but I'm going to make two types. I'm going to make one from sprues, and then obviously put this on top, and I'm going to make some trees from glue, as in that glue gun. Just because I really like the way that the glue gun works, and the fact it's so cheap. So the glue sticks are very cheap, and even the them black ones that I bought, they were cheap, but you buy the clear ones, and obviously they're even cheaper. But I just like the look of the black ones. For some reason, I've wanted to get some black ones. So yes, I'm not sure when it'll be out, but I'm going to be doing a video soon making trees for like D&D, or any kind of terrain really, for D&D, Warhammer, any other tabletop gaming really, I guess. But yes, I'm not leaving Warhammer. I'm just diversifying into other bits and pieces really. If you're not using them as much reason, exactly, Phil. Yeah, I know there are a few items there that people want because they would use them, which we could. You have Warhammer and D&D. Cool. Well, that's it. I know there are a lot of people that are here for Warhammer. There's a lot that are here for sprues, and there's a lot that are here for sort of me and whatever I do, really, which is awesome. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping I can sort of, especially now I'm doing some 3D printing. Although the 3D printing is going to be more for sort of, like say, just figures really. I have printed a few bits of terrain and buildings from the 3D printer. Obviously, it comes out really, really good. Looks great, but I think if I can make it, I'd rather make it. Whereas obviously a figure like this, I can't make. So to print one of these off is awesome. Obviously, I mean, even these doors, that was a broken one. Even these doors, I could possibly make these, but the time it would take I wouldn't get as much enjoyment out of making a door. Because if I'm making a big building, then yeah, I would obviously enjoy making it. So yeah, some things I'm going to carry on building, and some things I'm going to be 3D printing, especially like little bits and pieces. There's like even like the extent of like little treasure chests, which I think are just awesome. If anyone does ask about the Lonely Orc Tavern, I haven't forgotten about it. I'm going to change it though, because again, the Lonely Orc Tavern is sitting over there. It's got quite a few bits and pieces on top of it now. I like it, but I think I've gone off it. I want to make the Lonely Orc Tavern to play with in D&D, so I'm going to change it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to change that or start afresh, but it's going to be the Lonely Orc Tavern just because I love that name. I can't help but keep looking over there. You're probably thinking, where's he looking? He's looking off screen. But yeah, I hope you guys are all well. I say it's been a while since I've done one of these. It does feel weird, even weirder that it's not in the evening, because normally I used to do these and it'd be like 9 o'clock in the evening. So this is quite early. But yeah, as I say, this is going to be a bit of all sorts. I say I'm going to be doing a bit of painting, a bit of sort of making some floor tiles, a lot of chatting, a lot of waffling. Well, I normally end up waffling more than working, don't I? Really? Yeah, because my vague recollection of when I did last do some live streams, I think I spent 3-4 hours and I might have glued one piece onto another piece, and then the rest of the time was me just chatting and waffling. But yeah, we will go. Yes, that's something. Yes, so obviously the Orcs. I'm probably going to be changing from a K to a C now when it comes to Orcs, just because obviously they're hotter. No, just because obviously D&D is more the conventional spelling of Orcs as opposed to Warhammer, and if you spell it with a K, we'll come and sue you and take your channel down and stuff. Not that they have, although saying that, they did send me a letter a month after me having this channel, asking me to not do certain things. Cool. Arthur got into Warhammer from D&D. Ah, okay. Where did I get the phone board from? Arthur, do you really need to ask where I got phone board from? Where do I get everything from? I say, yeah, not everything here is from them. Obviously, this stuff is Hobbyist. Obviously, paintbrushes, Artiscapade. But yeah, no, it was Amazon. Obviously, I get everything from Amazon. Although I even went out today to B&Q, which is like a hardware DIY sort of shop in the UK, to try and get some of this stuff. They don't do it. They do obviously insulating stuff, but they don't do this kind of XPS board. So I ordered this from Amazon about 6 months ago. I think it was December. So I've ordered some more because I want to make lots of floor plans. But yeah, I mean, pretty much 99.9% of everything I buy is from Amazon. The rest will be from Tesco's because it's food, or a few other places. Although I should be doing a video soon where I'm going to be replacing all this Hobbyist stuff. There's another company, I can't think of their name off the top of my head, but they do stuff very similar to Hobbyist, and they're going to be sending me some stuff. Hopefully, if they're sending me what I've asked for, they're going to be sending me a lot of stuff. But I'll do a video on that when I unboxing, assembly and all that. So I might then be selling some of this Hobbyist stuff if anyone wants to buy that as well. Yeah, I'm trying to sell everything really, aren't I? Yeah, when the foam stuff can be bought from most places, just not B&Q in the UK, or not this kind of one. Yeah, good old Amazon. Love Amazon. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of painting because I haven't done any painting yet. So yeah, so with these, obviously I'm kind of doing all three at once. So literally, I'll get one colour, paint all over it, put it down, next one, paint over it, next one. So most of what I've painted with these so far is the contrast paint. Again, it's difficult to get it really too near without it not getting in focus. But I love contrast paint, like her hair. I've gone over it twice, and it's great. In the recesses, the orange has gone in a really lovely dark colour, and on the highlighted areas, it's got a very light colour. So just with one paint, you're getting the contrast and the highlight colours in one go. And if you're the kind of painter like I am, this is awesome. I have got some washes that I'll be using on other colours, because again, these contrast paints are great, but they're not cheap. They are quite expensive. Merlin, Amazon destroys lives. Well, each to their own. During lockdown, I would obviously quite strongly disagree. Not being able to get out, but still order stuff has been fantastic. Right, so this is where obviously when I concentrate, I kind of stop talking a little bit. So I would try and zoom in on this, but obviously that's my phone, and the zoom on it, basically it doesn't really zoom, it pixelates, so it'll be closer, but it'll be blurry and, well, pixelated. Again, if I start doing more and more live streams, then I will get another camera that I can sort of zoom in and out nicely, especially if I'm doing more painting, because obviously it'd be nicer for you guys to actually sort of see close up what I'm doing rather than from like a foot away. But so I'm pleased you guys are here, because I honestly thought the fact that I've not done a live stream in ages, and the fact I'm doing one early, it would be me and, well, the neighbour's cat watching, basically. So yes, it's nice having you guys there. Yes, if any of you guys, I don't know how many people are actually watching. Is anyone watching? I can't even tell who's watching. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, how many people are watching? So normally I have another screen up showing me, but I've not got anything up. Yeah, if you're in the Hampshire area of the UK, mainly the South Hampshire, I am still looking for 2 more players to join and play D&D. So there would be about 5 of us or 6 of us in total, but I am looking at doing it old school, as in you come round to my place and we use figures and dungeon floor tiles and dice. So rather than doing it like online, it would be a face-to-face game. So yeah, so if you're in the UK, obviously Hampshire way, yeah, send me a message, because there is one guy, I'm so bad with names. There is one guy that's contacted me, and yeah, he's going to be joining to play games, and he's obviously one of the subscribers, so that'd be cool. Well, I think I'm going to have to change the music that's in my ears. I say it's smooth jazz, but it's the super smooth jazz, which kind of like sends you asleep. Yeah, so I've got one of those proper figure holders to paint with, but I find sticking these on corks so much nicer, especially if you want to obviously have like a few on a go at once. So yes, I spent, was it £15 or whatever it was on that Citadel figure holder. I think I used it 2 or 3 times, and then started using the corks, and I prefer the corks now. Where are the minis from? Yeah, these minis are from... again, this is where I normally have loads of screens up and I can click on something and find things out straight away. I will tell you exactly where these are from, because they were sent to me for free. So bear with me 2 seconds while I pop it up on the screen. So basically I've started using a website called My Mini Factory. If you go on there, there's like hundreds or maybe even thousands of model makers. And the figures on there are just incredible, as in like highly detailed. There are some free figures on there, or STL files, but most of them I would say are probably paid ones, as in you have to buy them. But they're only like £2-3 for a mini, and then you can print up as many as you want. So say you're doing like an army of some sort, I think £2-3 to buy an STL of a figure that is so incredibly detailed is pretty good. So it's a website called My Mini Factory. Go on there, obviously just type in what you're looking for, whether it's dwarfs, orcs, dragons, whatever, and then you'll get loads coming up, and then you obviously can click on it and it will then take you to the person who made that sort of model, and then you can buy them. But say you can go on there, and there are some free ones, because I think a lot of the model makers do a couple of free ones just so obviously you can see the quality of their work, print them out so you can see there's no issues when you print them, because most of them, or the ones that I've done, have all come pre-supported. So literally it is a case of I've downloaded them, stuck them on a USB, put them in my printer, and they've come out. Yeah, pretty awesome. Right, so it's the Artisan Guild. So if you go on My Mini Factory and then type in or look up Artisan Guild, they do a whole variety of figures, from smaller figures, larger figures, dragons, these guys on wolves, all kinds of stuff. And I think they do a set. I'm not sure, it's something like £20. Don't quote me on this, it might be £20, but there's like about 15 or 20 figures. These were in that set, whereas with a lot more other sort of orcs. There's quite a lot of these ones riding big wolves. There's male orcs there as well. So yeah, so when you buy like the bigger bundles, obviously it works out better, because obviously you get more figures for the amount of money. But yeah, so My Mini Factory and Artisan Guild, go and check them out. Oh, Caveman's already put that there. Yeah, again, apologies. This is where I need to remember to look to see what you guys are saying. Yeah, so yes, you guys already put it there. Awesome. I'd love to, but wrong part of the UK. Where are you from, Marthman? I'm not too sure where you're from. I say I would do like the old online D&D. But the thing is though, because say for me it's all about having the figures, moving them around, rolling real dice, and just having that interaction with people in the same room, really. But yeah, no, it's a shame. Say there's one guy, and I think he's only about 20 miles from me. So yes, I think he's going to get involved. But yeah. That's again, I'm probably going to say this wrong, but Zymon's Hobby Workshop. You're a tank modeler. It's strange to watch this because you've never made Warhammer stuff, but you enjoy this. Cool. Well, I say it's weird. I've made lots of Warhammer stuff. I've still never played the Warhammer game. And it's funny, I was thinking about this the other day about why I love D&D, good old Dungeons and Dragons. For me, playing a game where you escape realism and you become a wizard, warlock, warrior, or a combination of those, for me that's a great game to play, because you escape in real life and you're then becoming a new person, basically. Which is why I think I love Dungeons and Dragons, but with Warhammer, obviously it's completely different. It's you against one other person, and you're both in command of an army. And for me, that's more like playing a game rather than escaping real life. So yes, I think that's why for me Dungeons and Dragons is what I'm going to get back into. So the last time I played, I think it was either 85 or 86. I think it's 85. So that's when I last played. Between 1980 and 1985, I played Dungeons and Dragons, and then I played Advanced Dungeons and Dragons towards the end of that. So I've not played since 1985. So yeah, a little bit rusty, but again, it's all about that escapism and you becoming something completely different. So my favourite classes are normally paladins and clerics. I do like wizards, but I think they're too squishy sometimes, and obviously they normally hide at the back, whereas I prefer to be a character near the front, or at least middle to the front, preferably wearing armour, because obviously I love the fact that you can wear armour, have a shield, but still throw out spells. I think is pretty awesome. So I'm going to look, because again, I need to keep remembering to look at the comments, otherwise I'm going to miss out on stuff. Are you in the Midlands? Yeah, a bit too far. I don't know, I missed something here. Is that Melvin? What about COVID? What are the odds you'll be in the 98% who survives it? I'm not too sure. Again, I probably missed something. I'm not too sure. Simon needs to make Warhammer. It looks cool. Well, for me, again, I got into Warhammer purely because of the figures. Again, it wasn't nothing to do with the gameplay, because I'd never even really looked at the gameplay. It was purely the figures. And again, it all started by me going on Amazon, typing in Orcs, because I wanted to get some Orc figures to make a diorama with. And I think I would have typed in Orcs with a C, because that's the Orcs that I knew of. But the Warhammer Orcs popped up. And that's where I bought my first set. And that's kind of how I don't know how I got into Warhammer, because I've never played it. But that's how I got into the Warhammer figures. Purely from Orcs, because I like Orcs. Yeah, I'm going to change this music. This music is... see, I normally like smooth jazz. I find it nice and calming. But this one's... I say, it's now not... I don't know. It's hard to explain what it is. But, yeah, it's pretty pants. So the problem is now I'm on an iPad. And I don't use an iPad. So, again, I'm pushing buttons. Again, I need to get it set up so my screen's got all the bits on it. Right, let's type in... Let's type in a bit of 70s soul music. Can't go wrong with that. 70s. So what sort of stuff do you guys like listening to when you're sort of making stuff or playing with stuff? Is there any sort of specific music you guys like to have in the background? Here we go, a bit of 70s soul. I have to turn the volume up a little bit. Yeah, this is better. Was it Al Green, Commodores, Smokey Robinson, Tower of Power? Yeah, cool. Oh, Streamlabs, what are you doing? Right, I'm not sure. Okay, I've definitely missed something here. Streamlabs has gone through and deleted loads of messages. I apologise, guys, because I'm sure I didn't see anything that looked rude or whatever. Okay, that's bizarre. Right, I'm not sure what you typed, but I'm sure I didn't see anything rude. Yeah, because as you guys might know, I'm not into... I don't swear. So I don't like... Well, I don't mind people swearing if they... people obviously got their own opinions of everything. But yeah, I'm not too sure what Streamlabs has done, because he seems to have popped up and deleted tons of stuff. Cabman, a bit of math metal or prog rock. Math metal? What the hell's math metal? Yeah, so this is where I'm probably old, and anything newish, I wouldn't have to be. It's been sensitive to COVID. Yes, I thought I saw COVID, but I don't. Yeah, you can talk about COVID, you can joke about COVID. It's going to be here for a while. Yeah, whatever you wrote, guys, don't worry about it, because I definitely didn't see any swearing, so that's the only thing that I would delete. Again, I would try and turn Streamlabs off, but that could take me half an hour more, because because I think I have to go into a different package to. It's not OBS, it's something else. Metal, but it's mathematics. Oh, it is really complex. Blimey. Yeah, I haven't got a clue what that is then. That's heavy metal. Simon likes classic. Yeah, I like classical music. Again, I like classical music, but there's certain types I like and certain types I don't. I'm not too fussed on any sort of classical music that's got piano in it. For some reason, I'm not too fussed on that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of is it Bach? Not Bach. Mozart. I think he does a lot of like piano stuff, and I don't like that. I like, can never really say it properly. Tchaikovsky. I like him. But yeah, I like most sort of music. Although I've never heard of the math algebra the musical. Right, yeah, you're not a true painter unless you lick the brush at least 5 times a minute, I think. Yeah, can anyone tell me how many people are actually watching? Because I can't tell. Obviously, I can see there's about 5 or 6 people in the chat. Am I aware my mic is popping? Unfortunately not, because I'm not listening to my mic because I've got soul music on. Again, I got there's no reason why it should be making anything different to what it used to. Again, I don't know what settings to change my mic. Yeah, I've got no idea. I can only apologise if the mic is sounding funny or my sound of the voice is sounding weird. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, right. Let's paint a bit more. Because basically I want to do a bit more paint on these guys, and then I'm going to have a go at, I need to do some filming, not from these, but for these. Because obviously I want to rough these up and make them look like they're, well, floor tiles really, and have a go at painting them. So the other thing I did used to have as well, I used to have my, some of the music I have on all my videos, I used to have that in the background, but very, very quietly, just so then when I'm not talking, there is a bit of sound and it's not sort of definitely quiet. So obviously it's a Saturday afternoon, well, afternoon for some of us, morning, evening, whenever for a lot of you guys. But what are you guys doing while you're watching me? Are you sort of like doing any model making, or are you just having a chill? It's always nice to know what you guys are doing. Bad eggs in class right now. Oh wow. Leave a like. Cheers. Thanks for that. You're in class. What class are you in? Because surely it's got to be, well, Saturday class. It's Saturday today, isn't it? Because I lose track of days sometimes. It's like I was at a wedding yesterday, and generally most of my weddings are on Fridays. But because obviously COVID, and I had a lot of weddings from last year go to this year, so I've had a lot more sort of weekday weddings, and they've really thrown me out. Like sometimes I've had a wedding on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and then in my head I'm thinking that must have been a Friday or a Saturday, because say Saturdays are when I do most weddings. So to get weddings in the week, I don't normally get that many. Well, certainly not on a Tuesday anyway. So yes, sometimes in the middle of a week or even in a weekend, I've got no idea what day it is. After things, all right, buddy. You're building a set right now, and so you should be. You should be filming on that set after things. Simon likes models and you have a small channel, and you enjoy my videos. Cheers, buddy. Matt Dice a dungeon master. Do start a campaign with Adventure Path book. Yeah, well, I say it's really weird because obviously when I used to play, obviously it's called homebrew now, isn't it? But when I played it, it was just called made up stuff. Obviously you'd have like loads of paper and you'd have everything written down, and floor plans and dungeon plans and all that. But obviously, yeah, when I played it, it wasn't called homebrew, it was just called made up stuff. And that's all we did. So I played for about 5 years. Group of the same people, there's 5 of us, played for 5 years. Oh no, so it was 2 groups. So I had a group when I was at school, and then when I got my first job, that's when I started playing AD&D. And we played for about 2-3 years. And yeah, it's all made up stuff, and they were like campaigns, but they weren't like year-long campaigns. They were like, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 session sort of campaigns. But then we'd take it in turns in being obviously the DM. And we'd alternate going around each other's house. So every Friday after work, so we'd go around someone's house, and the next Friday someone else's house. And yeah, so I absolutely loved it. It was really good. But then I think it was a case of we then started moving into different jobs and moving further out, and obviously sort of like you lose track of them, and yeah, and obviously other things come up. But yeah, I absolutely used to love it. So yeah, so I bought the starter set, and I've also bought Waterdeep, is it Dragon Heist. So I bought those. But what I'm going to do initially for the first one we do, I'm just going to make a small, quick campaign, a one shot. Again, we didn't have names like one shot, so I'm going to make a one shot up, just because I think the people that I'm going to be playing with, I think one of them may have played it once, but there's 4 people so far. I think is it 1, 2, yeah. So I might be getting one more person, but yeah, we're going to do a little one shot just for them to be able to make a character up, fairly simple. Just to give them the gist of what happens, and then we might do one of the bigger campaigns. But again, the thing is, I like making them up. Yeah, rather than following someone else's sort of guidelines, book rules, and all that. Yeah, I get a lot of enjoyment being a DM, but making up my own scenario, yeah, and tasks and things for them to do. Obviously there's always lots of killing, but there's also some chatting, because obviously you need to sometimes talk to NPCs. But yeah, I certainly can't wait to start doing it again. K-Man, could we not joke about the dead, please? I came here for crafting stream about orcs. Okay, not sure what the joke about the dead is. Merlin 132. Okay. Yeah. Again, everyone's going to have opinions, but if what you're going on about isn't sort of fitting in well with other people, then yeah, I would sort of stop talking about whatever subject it is you're talking about, basically. Yeah. Yes, often I was going to. Yes, I'll be right back and just go and grab that. Again, it's one of those things I started, and it's on the back burner. Oh. Yeah, so this is probably how far I got with it. I don't know, 2-3 months ago. So yeah, so obviously it was the iconic. Well, for me, it's the iconic front logo picture on the first box that I ever brought, the basic Dungeons and Dragons set. So yes, I was making it out of polymer clay. Obviously, making it sort of, I don't know how I can get it. So it is kind of like 3D. Obviously, lots to do to it to fill in all the rest, and then go over and do all the detail. But the plan was, once I've made this, obviously bake it in the oven so it's nice and hard, but then make a mould of this so I could then cast more of these out of plastic to put on books, sort of A5 books that I'd use with my character sheets and stuff. So yeah, so this I kind of started ages ago, did a bit to it, and then, well, obviously didn't do any more to it. So say, yeah, there are quite a few projects that I sometimes start, all great intentions, and then it's not so much I get bored of it, I just lose the will to make it. Now, I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, quite often I'll start something, put it to one side, or generally, I think it's not so much a case of I get bored of that, something else gets my excitement more, and then I start making the other thing. So yeah, I will be going back to that at some stage. Papalex66, wow, looking good, buddy. You've lost a little weight. Oh, cheers, buddy. Yeah, about four stone. Well, I did lose about 4.5, nearly 5. But for the last month, I've kind of not been really sticking to it because I was doing a lot of walking, and that, well, obviously healthy eating as well. But a lot of walking, healthy eating, and yeah, I lost about 4.5 stone. But for the last month or so, because I've been doing a lot of weddings, I'm now at a stage where I'm coming out of doing the weddings, but I've got a lot of weddings to edit, which means I'm sat at my desk editing a lot. It's not really a proper excuse for not getting out for a walk, but it's the only excuse I've really got. So yeah, I need to watch what I'm doing, otherwise I'm going to start creeping back up. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to do a bit more of these, and say then I really want to have a go at doing, because I watched, who was I watching the other day? I can't think. So there's about 4 or 5 YouTubers that I watch that do a whole variety of sort of like Warhammer, D&D, just your general terrain stuff. And obviously they were doing like the floor tiles, making them nice and simple. But I like the fact they were doing other things with the floor tiles, as in like putting lights in them, building little things and having smoke coming out of it, and all kinds of weird and wacky stuff. I mean, so I want to have a go at doing that as well. And again, that's why I need to make some room over there, because there's no room for me to make any more stuff, because my shelves are just full of Warhammer-ish stuff. There's obviously a lot of like terrain bits and pieces. Yeah, it's quite a lot of like scrap junk built stuff. Bits of all sorts, really. I think I'll finish that one. You could tell just seeing my hands. So if anything, I think the one thing that wasn't fat about me was my hands. But now I say my hands were fat. Oh man. No, I don't mind. Man, so now even this soul, I'm listening to 70s soul, and now even this has gone a bit too mellow. Man, I can't seem to find anything I like. Right, let's just play music of the 70s. Try and get rid of all R&B. There we go. Let's try 70s R&B. Oh, this is still soul. Oh, it's still soul. Yeah, next time I do a live stream, I'm going to be a lot more organised. I say normally my 2 screens are full of different sort of pop-ups and bits. Just that makes it a lot easier for me just to push one button and things happen. But I say at the moment they don't, and so I'm trying to use a little iPad, and I don't normally use an iPad, so I'm having problems with that. Lots of things. If I dig out those boxes of Warhammer figures, would I be interested in them? I think if you'd asked me a few months ago, I would have said yes for sure. But at the moment, I'm leaning more towards making D&D figures. Obviously, these orcs are just for fun to have a little diorama with. But I have started printing out. So I can zoom in a little bit, but going too bad. Yeah, so I have started printing out lots more figures that I would use with sort of Dungeons and Dragons, and obviously work indoors, which I think is just fantastic. Need a treasure chest in a dungeon, obviously, but then you also need a nice big dude to protect said treasure. Yeah, so I'm kind of doing more sort of D&D-ish stuff now. But cheers, load after things. Yeah, yeah, because if anything, I'm now going to be trying to get rid of some of my Warhammer stuff that I've made, just because I say I keep looking over there. So anyone new, I'm looking over that direction over there, because that's where I've got about. It's a 7-foot shelf. It's about 7 foot by about 3 foot, and it's just piled high. Everything I've been making over the last year and a half is currently sitting over there, with the exception of a few items that my kids have kind of nabbed. Everything's over there. So again, I say this every time, I am going to be setting up an Etsy page or an eBay page or some page, I don't know, where I can try and sell some of the items, just to make room for new items, and obviously whatever money I make I can then use to buy more bits and pieces. So yes, but obviously the one thing I will say though, with everything I'm selling, obviously some of it is quite big, some of it's reasonably heavy. So if you're not in the UK, it would probably cost you more for the postage than what the item is. So yes, I'm kind of thinking probably mostly UK-ish people will probably buy the stuff, just because obviously the postage won't be horrendous. But usually you miss when I used to do the Mega Construct stuff. Well, that's kind of, yeah, I mean that's kind of what led me from Lego into the Mega Construct, into making the little dioramas, to making what I'm making now, really. Kind of bits of all sorts. Blood King Bro, funny you should say what you just said, because I like the idea, because basically I'm going to do a little one of these for my kids. I'm going to do a dungeon D&D session with my kids soon. I'm going to make it nice and simple, obviously, but I'm going to have one room. They go into the room, they see an opened treasure chest. Obviously, assuming one of their characters would move towards the treasure chest then shuts, and then obviously one of them would go over there, try and unlock it, pick it, probably just hit it, to be honest, with my kids, and then obviously that little treasure chest has a mimic in it. So again, 3D printing stuff, I love it. I can't I can't say it enough times. I love 3D printing stuff. So thank you so much to Anycubic for sending me the printers. So they sent me 2 printers now. They've sent me the Viper, which is the PLA one, and they've also sent me the Mono Photon, or Photon Mono X, which is a resin one. Both great printers, and to say the fact that I can just go out and print stuff is just, I really am a big kid in a toy shop now. Although it's like I own the toy shop, so I haven't got, well, I've kind of got to buy stuff, but not exactly. I mean, you know, I'm waffling now anyway. So yeah. So yes, Blood King Bro. Yeah, there is going to be a mimic in that one. Caveman, said I like Orcs and Knights, and recall a while back seeing some converted up set of Age of Sigma Orcs. Oh, okay. In Knight Armour themed after King Arthur's cool. Oh, I bet that looks cool. Yeah, say Orcs, Knights, Wizards. Although I like Orcs and I like Dwarfs as much as I like Orcs. So I also used to play World of Warcraft. Played that when it first came out. Played it on and off for about, I don't know, 10-15 years. And most of my characters were either Orcs for the Horde, or they were Dwarfs for the Alliance side. So yes, I do kind of like Dwarfs, which is why I've got loads of Dwarfs over there. I do like Dwarfs as much as I like Orcs. So most of my characters when I play D&D will probably be Dwarfs, just because I think they look cool. Kind of like me, short and stubby, but obviously they're a little bit shorter. Maybe stubbier, I'm not too sure. Sign the stuff themselves. do you think if I signed it, it'd be worth more or worth less? Perplex, sounds odd when you see someone so often you notice even small changes. Okay. But the mimic, yeah. Again, that mimic would have been. I don't know. I think I got that mimic free. I say because go to my mini factory. So I've been using Thingiverse initially. Thingiverse has loads of great stuff on it. Obviously, it's all free. The quality of the stuff there's not bad. It's all right. But if you want figures that are like extreme quality, definitely on par with Warhammer stuff. If not, in some cases, I think they're better than Warhammer stuff. Then yeah, go check out my mini factory. And and in particular, say the company that I've sort of started getting some STLs from is Artisan Guild, just because they do a wide variety of stuff that would fit in well with Warhammer and with D&D. So yeah, go use them. But is the resin printer easy to use? Yeah, again, like I was saying earlier, I downloaded these files from Artisan Guild on my mini factory, downloaded them, put them on a USB, stuck it in my printer, and I think these took about an hour and 20. And the thing with the resin printer is it's the height. Oh, so let's get that camera back up, because that's zoomed in now. I think that's it. Yeah, so with the resin printer, it's the height that determines how long it takes to print. So say I just did one character, and it's that tall, obviously. It took an hour and 20, but I could stick on. Well, I think I did actually stick. I think I did 4. I did 4 figures, but it's still only an hour and 20. So it's whatever the height is determines the time. So if you're going to print figures off, you may as well print off loads at once, because it doesn't take any longer. Whereas the Anycubic Viper printer I've got, that's a PLA one. So it's like that long thin strand of plastic or whatever it is. With that one, it takes however long it takes per item. So sticking 4 items on there would take 4 times as long as 1 item. But no, the resin printer, yeah, I can't say enough about resin printers. So the PLA one's nice because it's a bigger platform, so you can do bigger stuff. But for miniatures and more detail, then yeah, definitely the resin printer is the one to go. Okay, man, you played a Troll Hunter. So that's 2 things I never really played. I never played a Troll. I did have an Orc Hunter, but I didn't really use him much. Oh, you mean the leveling and setting up? No, the Anycubic, the PLA one, it sets itself up. You basically assemble it. I think there's only about 2 or 3 bits that needed sort of bolting on, 4 or 5 cable ties to uncut, and then you plug it in, push a button, and one of the options is auto leveling. Push that button, it levels itself, because it sort of, I think it measures about 11 or 13 spots on this tray. So it'll measure all the spots, and it takes about, I don't know, a minute, 90 seconds. It levels itself. The resin ones, you have to level them, but again, that takes a couple of minutes. You basically put a piece of paper on this bed, lower the print plate down, and then you do it so you can pull the paper out, but with resistance. I mean, basically, if you get one, it'll go through all the instructions. But no, I'm waffling now. The quick answer is they don't take long at all to set up. I should have started with that, really. But yeah, they are good. I mean, obviously the initial price is obviously the big outlay, but compared, it's like, I mean, I've hardly assembled much in the way of Warhammer stuff, but I've got quite a lot of Warhammer stuff that I've not assembled or done anything with, and I now see it as a waste of money, because if I hadn't spent it on it, I could have got another 3D printer, and then obviously once you've got the printer, it's then so much cheaper to print out your own figures, obviously, than buy them. So once you've got a printer, then you are then going to save money. It's just having the money to buy the printer in the first case. Although the printers are getting so much cheaper now, though. I mean, I think you can get a printer for like under £200, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so obviously I love Anycubic stuff, and I think they've just released, or they're doing a Kickstarter for a new printer. Again, I'm not 100% sure what it's all about. It's a different kind of screen, which means the resolution on it is even sharper and better than these. And yeah, I think these are pretty awesome. It's like, I mean, I printed out some, again, for D&D, I printed out some goblins. I mean, these guys are minute in comparison to obviously even just this one, which is kind of like minute. But again, the quality on these, I mean, you can see his little belt buckles, you can see on his chest, He's got that little bits of string going across. I mean, even his little shield's got little studs on it. So the quality of just normal resin printers is awesome. But there's this other style kind of printer or screen or whatever it is, which is even more detail, which is just amazing. And the fact the prices are coming down. Basically, you want to get a printer to do the custom heads, yeah, for the Mega Construct. Yeah. So I'm going to make some stuff for my printer. From all that talking, I need to make some stuff. Well, it's weird. It's like when the Viper printer turned up from Anycubic, like that big PLA one. I think I was printing non-stop for about 3-4 days, just because it's obviously the 3D printer I bought. I can't remember which one I got. The build plate was it was smaller than this. It was like a real small build plate, so you could only do like a few miniatures at a time. So to go from that to a build plate, which is I don't know, is it like 300 by 300, give or take, and the fact obviously the height was like 300, and the fact you could print out things that are just huge, it was just, yeah, I kind of got overexcited, and yeah, printing loads of stuff. I mean, the printers they're not noisy, but bearing in mind the printers are only about 5 feet behind me, they're noisy enough. Well, it's more the fans obviously on the printers. Oh, I can't wait. Much as I want to have music on, these earbuds aren't the nicest. Right, so let's get. Oh, how am I going to get rid of that? No, that's not it either. So right, bear with me 2 seconds. Again, this is me using an iPad and I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. I was basically going to get it back to showing me, just so I can see how many people are watching. Because say I've got no idea how many people are watching. No, don't know. Not that it really makes any odds. I mean, you guys are keeping me company, which is awesome. Do you need to vent them? Yeah, obviously the area it's in is the kitchen. So there's a few windows in there that I can have fully opened. So yeah, you do need an area that is nicely ventilated. Man, oh, there we go. Right, there we go. Am I tempted to learn how to 3D sculpt? Yes, definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt, I would love to be able to 3D sculpt. Yeah, it's something I will do, or I will have a look into. But say at the moment, because I am really busy editing weddings, I haven't really got time. But come sort of November, December, January, when I have very few weddings, and by then I should have caught up with myself, as in editing all the weddings I've just recently done, I'll have more time to sort of have a look and a play. Yeah, basically, obviously, whatever software is out there, try some free stuff first, and yeah, because that would obviously be ideal. Then being able to have a go at designing and building my own things would be pretty cool. Good morning, Colin. Yes, it's always morning somewhere, it's always afternoon somewhere, and it's always evening somewhere. The joy of the internet, bringing the world together. the police has come because you broke a Lego piece. But I must admit, it did seem weird because obviously you could hear the police siren, and then it just sort of stopped dead right outside. It's like it didn't sound like they went past, but no one's broke my door down, so I must be all right. Although to be fair, the light went off. A lot of the Lego stuff that I kind of used and destroyed and used to make molds wasn't actually Lego. It was like the old Lego knockoff. So I get rid of my light now. Something that feels like it's all gone not dark in here, but oh, there we go. So yeah, well, it's pretty even worse because I was using knockoff Lego or bootleg Lego, whatever you want to call it. Can I give a shout out to Steph and say you're pretty cool? Steph, you cool. Your brother Steph taught himself. Oh wow, he uses an iPad and Apple Pencil. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Then you don't need to buy sort of expensive stuff. Oh, that was cool. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to have a little look at software to make 3D bits and pieces. Obviously, we start off with some very basic square shapes and, well, maybe some doors or bricks and stuff. But yeah, so that's why I've had a look at the Artisan Guild. Again, go out to My Mini Factory. If you want some really highly detailed figures, yeah, go and have a look there. And so the prices aren't bad. It's certainly a lot cheaper than Games Workshop. Maybe that was them outside. They've come to see what's going on. They've heard I've got a 3D printer and I'm not going to buy Games Workshop stuff anymore. It's funny, this is why also what my next video is going to be of these guys, but I find it very difficult to film myself painting so you can actually see anything, because as much as I get my camera and obviously I have it wherever it needs to go, but then I find myself like not being able to see what I'm doing. So yeah, so it's very difficult to actually film myself painting, just because obviously wearing glasses, getting a steady hand, I do have this quite near my face. And I don't really want to get my face in the shots when I'm filming. Well, certainly not that close up anyway. There's one little bit I was trying to get to. Where was it? Oh, there it was. Yeah, so these three little orc figures, I've stuck them on the bases. Probably shouldn't have really, because I'm not going to use them as obviously figures. I'm going to make a little diorama base for them. Have a few rocks on here, have them standing on there. Do that that basin that I did recently with the sort of the different types of grass, gravel, stones. Put that on there, but I might also do like a bit of a watery effect on there as well. So kind of like how the three dwarfs turned out on like one little base. That's what I'm going to do with these lovely little orc ladies, because obviously I think they're quite pretty. And as orcs go, I possibly wouldn't date one of these, but I'll certainly go out for a drink with one of them. Oh, cheers, buddy. Man of War just donated some money, which is awesome. Cheers, brother. Hail, brother. Been a while since I've been able to catch you live. Bit off topic. Any plans to revisit Valheim? Yes, funny enough. Yeah, I watched someone a few days ago. I can't remember who I watched. But yeah, no, yeah, it's funny because I do like Valheim, and I've played it. It's really weird because I like playing Valheim. I've only sort of completed it once, but I like restarting it just for the lower levels of getting all the gathering initially and building stuff. I kind of found when I got to the end and I built a nice little, well, a little sort of castle-y looking thing. I then got to a stage of sort of what next. So I've then made loads more characters, done them from the very beginning, built some nice sort of wooden structures and made them quite big and that. So yes, I'm definitely going to be going and having a look to see. Yeah. So have you played it then, Man of War? Is there much? So I know they've done quite a lot of like cosmetic stuff. But is there actually more to do in game? Because I think they really need to sort of bring out a lot more like challenges and tasks, and like the kind of thing that World of Warcraft used to do. I didn't like go and kill 500 of this type of animal, and then you might become a expert skinner or something, or complete certain tasks of building sort of things or finding things. I think they need to do a lot more of that sort of stuff, just to keep it more interesting, I think. But yeah, if you've played it, let me know what your first thoughts are, what they've actually added, because I've not even seen like the patch notes to see what's been added really. But yeah, no, I do like that game. Right, I think is that right. Yeah, it's a usual thing. Again, I kind of set myself about 4 hours to get some bits done. I've now been going, what, an hour and 40? Well, say an hour, because obviously the interruption before, and I've only painted a few little bits. I kind of forgot how much chatting and waffling I do, because normally, if you knew me in real life, I'm not a big talker. I normally only talk when needed, but for some reason, when I get on these live streams and I start chatting with you guys, I somehow seem to just waffle on and on and on. You're in a full arm cast. Oh no. Oh bless you. Oh bro. Hope it's a speedy recovery then, buddy, from what you've whatever surgery you've had done. So you're watching the old lady and others at the moment. Oh no, that must be infuriating. Oh bless you. Yeah, well, speedy recovery, buddy. Yeah, watching others. Oh man. Yeah. So I probably will be playing it at some stage. Again, it's trying to fit things in, because I am on my desk. I've got all the weddings I need to edit, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 weddings to edit. But obviously, I'm still photographing weddings, so that 8 kind of like stays around about the 8 number. So whenever I like finish editing one, I'm then at another wedding filming it. So it sort of like stays around 8 until kind of like mid next month. Then I start doing obviously less weddings, so the number starts going down, and then I have more time to do things. So that's the thing with weddings, it's very seasonal. So like the summer months, 6 months in the summer, I'm normally chocker. Obviously a bit different this year because of COVID and all the rest of it. And then come the winter time is when obviously I have a lot more time to do other things. So yeah, I'll be playing a lot more games, trying out the 3D thingy and obviously doing a lot more Dungeons and Dragons sort of stuff. What am I going to paint next? I'm going to have a break from the painting because I really want to mess about with some floor tiling. Plus, I need to film that as well because I haven't done the film. So the painting, I've filmed some of the painting of these, and again, I can't film too much just because, well, trying to get the camera on there and me filming painting is quite difficult. But yeah, so with this, I do need to do some filming because I haven't done a whole lot. I'm just going to have a little drink because I'm getting a bit thirsty. Also, I've just missed out Cafopricon. I'm going to say it so badly. Cafopricon? Cafopricon. Sculpted a software called Nomad. About £15. Thanks for the shout. £15? That's not bad. Well, I'm going to write that down though, because I've got a memory like a sieve, and I will forget straight away. So let's write that down. What's that called again? Nomad. Software. 3D. Right, cool. After things, lost my custom Batman head, had to get another, just had Mrs. No looks at the price of such a tiny piece of plastic. After things, if you ever need anything, buddy, yeah, give me a shout, text me, mate. Yeah, for all that help you did on my videos, I think the least I could do is make you a Batman head if you ever need another one, or a different head. Obviously, how well it would fit, I'm not too sure. Well, I could probably print something off, and you could just sort of drill a hole in it, I guess. But yeah, anyway. All right. Oh yeah, I've got a bit of a cookie as well because I'm feeling a bit hungry. Cookie. Remember, this is the only problem as well about live streaming. My desk just gets so full. I mean, the desk here looks kind of neat and tidy, but my other desk is just full of bits and pieces that I can bring in to use, whereas normally things will be sitting in drawers, desks, in the kitchen, over there. But obviously to save me getting up every 5 seconds to get stuff, I try to get everything I need for a stream on my desk, but it does just mean then my desk is pretty full. Right, where's that? There we go. Yeah, so say with the Dungeons and Dragons, I am going to be starting a game hopefully in about 2 weeks' time. I've got 4. I've definitely got 2. I'm waiting to hear back from another 2 people. So I've definitely got 2 people to play. Just want to hear back from another 2 people, and then I'm going to start my first sort of D&D game. I'm going to do like a run shot initially because, as I say, I think the people I'm playing with haven't played before. One of them might have played before, but I think it's only like 1 or 2 games they played, and it's a refresher for me as well. So I'll be DMing it. I'm going to do, obviously they're called one shots, but back when I was doing it, they're just called made up games. But I like to say I like to have figures to move around, dungeon floor tiles, and other little props and bits to obviously make it look more visual, as well as me obviously talking about and describing the room they're in. I like the idea of them being able to physically see roughly what a room looks like, which is why I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff with XPS, because then obviously I can make my sort of one shots or my campaigns, and then I can then make and build all the bits and pieces I need, which is again another reason why I'm going to look over there at my shelf that's full. Another reason why I need to get rid of or sell the stuff that's on there to make more room for all these props and bits. So obviously I'm going to have like normal square rooms, but I also want to have like other shaped rooms, so obviously round rooms and then corridors. So obviously there'll be like thin corridors where obviously they have to walk one in front of the other, and then wider corridors. And again, I'm going to get one of these doors because I printed these out. Well, I printed some out last night and some this morning. But again, this is what I love about the printer: the fact you can print something that obviously, I mean, this has got like little hinges, and the hinges work. And I printed out something for my daughter the other day. It's kind of like a Rubik's cube, but then you open it up and it sort of flips around, and then when you flip it right the way around, it's then like a sort of a star-shaped pokey Rubik's cube. And again, on the 3D printer, you print that out as one item, so it can print out bits that like, well, you can print out a chain because it can like print interlocking bits, which again, sometimes you must look at me and think he's like a big kid, and it's like I generally am a big kid, and so things sometimes the little things that please me, the fact you can print something off that's got a hinge and moves, I just think it's amazing. So I am easily pleased sometimes. But yeah, again, I'm waffling on. I forgot what I'm saying, but yeah, I just love it. Quick question on the resin minis: how's the durability for real tabletop usage? Yeah, see that Cheeto fingers on paint jobs, snapping tiny bits off. I do have a concern there, Man of War. Obviously, some figures like a good old ogre, he's nice, he's big, he's chunky. Obviously spiky bits may come off, so I am almost thinking that when I do play this game, I'm the one who moves their figures. I hope I'm not like that, but I might be. Yeah, because obviously there's a little wizard, a little female wizard, obviously a staff, and she's got very little arms. So again, Yeah, durability, these won't last as well as obviously the old day metal ones. Because obviously the metal ones, you could drop them and they would just sort of bounce around. Might bend a little bit, but it probably wouldn't snap off. And yeah, say these little goblins. I mean, these little dudes, most of them, I broke their arms getting them off the plate. Obviously scraped along the plate. These kind of like came off quite nicely, but then their arms broke off. Oh no, it wasn't that. Sorry, I lied. I scraped them off. They came off fine. It was the supports. The supports were on there. Obviously, I used my cutters to try and cut the support, and then like sort of tweak it and break it off. Yeah, the supports in some cases were almost as thick as the arm. So once I took the supports off, their arms came off. And I printed 5 of these. I think only one of them was intact. The other ones, it was either the arm of the sword or even the arm of the shield, all broke off. Glued them back on, no issues. But yeah, there are some bits that are very thin, and I want to print some skeletons off. But obviously, as you can imagine, skeletons, there's no bone, they are bone. There's no meat and skin on them, they are just bones. So they're very thin. And yeah, I'm really not too sure how well they are going to put up to being moved around. So yeah, I will be telling people to carefully move their piece around, otherwise bits will break off, and then they'll see a grown man cry. Especially, I mean, at the moment it's not too bad because obviously they're not painted. But if I then go and spend half hour, an hour painting them, and then bits break off, I won't obviously be as happy, because if bits break off now, you can glue them back, and well, you can't tell it's been glued back. But when something's been painted and then glued back, then well, you can tell. The metal could bend, there's no venture as well. The 3D type of printing resin is a bit more rubbery and flexible. Oh, okay. I need to look at that one. Simon's Hobby Workshop's got to go. Oh, cheers, buddy. Well, thanks for being here. You have a great day and great weekend. I am going to try and start doing more live streams, but they will be like this. They'll be a bit more ad hoc. When I know I've got like a few hours that I'm going to be sitting down and doing stuff, I'll try and get it all set up and sorted, so next time I can just push a button and it works fine. But yeah, I will be doing more. So yeah, cheers for being here. But yeah, rubbery flexible. That would probably be better. As I say, some of these smaller bits, there is going to be a concern that, like I say, you haven't even got to have big Cheeto fingers. I think just anyone moving them, knocking them, or even rolling the dice. I mean, you roll a dice, it will just take these guys out. They'll just be obliterated. Never mind having to try and hit them in the game. The dice will just do it for you. Kevin still has a lead mountain next to my plastic and resin mountains. Matter what, I'll soon find out. I will. Yeah, if you see me on a stream and I look like I've got red teary eyes, it's because I've just played a game of D&D and some figures didn't make it. Pardon me. Although if that's the case, maybe their character doesn't make it either. All of a sudden, 25 ogres come out of a door and obliterate the party. Yeah, that'll teach them for ruining one of my figures. So I'm just going a bit more cookie because, well, I'm hungry. Right, so this next bit I need film. Yeah, I've done a little bit of filming, me showing the board, marking a few bits up, cutting it. So yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit of filming every now and then to show what I'm doing. And then I'm obviously going to rough these up. I've gone out and bought some nice cheap paint and some PVA glue to do as like a base coat. Because obviously if you sprayed normal like primer on these, it will just eat into it and it will just, well, eat into it basically. But yeah, and the weird thing is, obviously I've got a nice ruler to cut with, but all the markings have kind of like worn off, so I need to use something that I can't find. Ah, where'd it go? I've got a trusty tape measure. There's nothing like having the right tools for the right job. So yeah, it's a combination of my tape measure and this ruler, which is really weird to say. This ruler I got from Amazon, and I would say within about a week of me having this, the print started wearing off. It really didn't take long for it to come off. So as good as a ruler as it is, because obviously it's nice to cut with, because obviously your fingers are away and you push down and it doesn't move. To actually use as a ruler, it's pretty pants. But hey ho. I think this was the better end. Yeah, so with most videos that you guys watch, I film quite a lot of footage, and then a lot of it doesn't even go in. But obviously it's best for me to film lots and then just pick the good bits and the bits that you need to sort of see, rather than me not filming stuff and there being almost gaps in between what I'm building. And the same the other way, I don't sort of include all the footage because I think it'd get boring to watch every bit that I do, because sometimes you don't need to see me do like loads of stages of the same thing. So, but yes, that's why I always film a lot more than I need, which is why sometimes it can take a while to edit a video, because I've then got to watch through, see what bits make sense, see what bits seem like they're repeated, but making sure I don't cut out bits that are relevant, really. Yeah, so this is my first time making sort of tiles. Obviously simple enough really, but yeah, again it's always nice to try sort of things I've not done before, especially when, say in this case, I am making things now that I will be using, as opposed to all that stuff. I'm not even going to look now. I suppose all that stuff that's over there that I've made and I don't use. Which say I think it's a bit of a shame, really, especially when some of the stuff over there, like the Orc Stomper. Really pleased with how that came out. Took me quite a long time to make, but I think the end result was pretty cool, especially considering the Orc Stomper's made only using sprues and glue and paint, obviously. But yeah, no, really pleased with how he's come out. But it's almost like a shame that it's not obviously ever going to be used. I think that last one wasn't quite full size. Oh, maybe it was. Look at this side. Ah, it's this side. Nearly cut off the side that wasn't right. Yeah. And again, say this stuff. I think I've only used this stuff once, and I made a few bricks. Oh, it's for the Orc pub, the Lonely Orc pub. Which is, again, if you were here earlier, you'd have been talking about it. I am going to do some more to the Orc pub, but I may well be completely breaking it and making it a bit different in size, because I keep looking at it, and as much as I love what I've done, I'm not too pleased on how it kind of looks, not visually, aesthetically. I want it to look more like a normal tavern rather than having an irregular bit, because my initial plan for it was to have it so it looked like a building that was made of loads of different sort of houses put together, but now I'm not. Now I would like it to be like a normal kind of tavern. I say, because I'm like old school D&D, or AD&D. Every great adventure literally does start in a tavern. So I want to make a tavern that I can use as sort of the start, or incorporate it somewhere into one of the D&D campaigns or one-shots. So yes, I'm going to make the Lonely Orc Tavern, but I might be making it from fresh, or I'm going to be taking that one, but I'm going to be cutting it up quite severely, just to change it into a more conventional looking medieval tavern pub style thing. But hey. Right, have I missed anything on text? Blacking Bro should try an again, that's one of those ones I can never say. Apocalyptic game sometimes. If that question is to me, because I'm not too sure, because I've not read some bits, probably not. Mainly because I love knights. I love medieval times. As much as I love Mad Max as well, and I think that works really well for like orcs and bits and pieces of them. With D&D, I very much am a old school. There's a wizard, there's a cleric, there's a warrior. I've been reading through the new rule books and the player's handbook, and obviously the other, what's the other one I've got? Tasha's something or other. Yeah, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And obviously there are lots more playable races and types, and I don't mind that fact. But I do like the basic core sort of dwarfs, elves, halflings. Yeah, so some of these other ones, like, is it a turtle? Well, Ninja Turtle. Yeah, that's the kind of character I would never be. Again, because for me it's escapism. And if I could be transported back in time to knights and all that, obviously there was no wizards or dragons back then, but then again, who knows? Then yeah, I would want to be a conventional sort of, well, in my case, I like dwarves because they're nice and stocky. But yeah, I don't think I'd ever want to be a turtle. Kind of seems weird. And obviously the other race, there's like a half dragon. And to me, that instantly just seems too OP. If someone's a half dragon, surely they are going to be pretty beefy, hit points, armor class, and all the rest of it. So again, that just seems another weird class. Again, I haven't really looked into all of it yet, so I can't really give too much of a discussion on that, I guess. But yeah, I like conventional people. Right. So let's go for a different angle. Let's go from above. Yes, obviously if you haven't watched me videoing any of my videos, basically obviously what I do is I do a lot of filming, and then when I come to edit the video, I obviously then put the clips all together, and then I do a voiceover over the whole lot. It just makes it a lot easier for me, because sometimes I don't know what clips I'm going to leave in, or how much or how long of a clip I'm going to leave in. So yeah, doing the voiceover at the end is so much better, easier. Plus, quite often I forget words, or like then I'll say quite a lot. So it just comes across so much better when I do it afterwards. Because then if I do say something wrong, or I forget something, or I mispronounce something, I then have the time to cut that bit out and do it again, basically. Yes, I said these really are simple, easy tiles. Because the video where I do these, or I show this, I actually first 3D printed some tiles. Obviously, while they came out okay, they take a long time. Because obviously, you imagine printing them out, using a lot of resin, takes a long time, and obviously, like the fact I want to make some big floor tiles. you can't do that on that printer. You have to do it in a few sections. And again, the cost of it would just be silly compared to this, which I think a sheet of this was, I think it's £8, and it's 1.2 meters by 0.6 meters. So it's quite a nice size bit of board. You certainly get a lot of tiles, like dungeon tiles, out of it. And the fact that obviously I can make these up. Well, I can make these tiles up a lot quicker than the printer prints them. So obviously a lot quicker, a lot cheaper, and yeah, you get to make up what you want then. And again, obviously I love making things, so printing off the figures is great because obviously I can't make little figures, but making the dungeon tiles, and so when I make the Orc Tavern, making them out of, well, bits of all sorts really, balsa wood, this XPS stuff, and whatever else I can sort of get really. Zymon's Hobbyist Workshop is back. He couldn't keep away. Kevin, with your knowledge of modern stuff, you could totally be a wizard back in the day. Well, I mean, I must admit, I would love to get potions and stuff. That'd be so much fun, mixing bits and pieces together and ingredients. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, maybe not a wizard, but is it a apothecary? Again, this is where certain words I fall over. Apothecary. A mad scientist, basically. Dragonborn seem a bit odd, but aren't too OP. I mean, the only dragony thing they get right away is minor breath weapon. How do they get breath weapon? Then just access to higher levels of feats. Yeah. Tieflings, yeah, become a race at least partly. Janai. Okay. Yeah, so that's why I have basically bought the starter set, because I started reading through the books. And obviously there's lots of information, there's lots of changes from when I last played. So yes, that's why I bought the starter set, just so I could get the basics and then incorporate other things. Because I'm probably more of a DM than a player. Happily play, and I like the playing, but I do like, again, that's why a lot of my stuff would be homebrew. Because I like making stuff up. I like thinking of traps. I like thinking of them having to solve something to then go to somewhere else to solve something else, or to rescue someone, or all that sort of stuff. Like Indiana Jones, I love obviously the start of the Indiana Jones film. So for me, that's very much what I like. And again, a lot of my campaigns probably would involve dungeons. I know there's a lot of people who go and do like pirate ones. Again, for me, that's not something that really interests me, being out on a ship or an island. For me, it is Dungeons and Dragons. It's Dungeons and Dragons. Again, I'm a simple person. I like simple things. So that's kind of how my dungeons would primarily be made, but with a lot of traps, having to think about things, as well as obviously killing lots of things. Yeah, cool. Right. The next thing I was going to do was the good old making it look a bit more rough, ready, terrain-like. So, good old foil. Oh, should we film this bit? Let's get another bit of foil. Foil's cheap, so we chuck some more in. Apothecary, yes, that's the word. Right, where's the camera? Let's go for another angle. Right, so we can start by showing that. So again, when I'm doing these kind of videoing bits, in my head, I'm roughly thinking kind of what it is I would be saying at the time, just because obviously it helps with any little acting with hand movements. Again, holding something up to the screen and showing it, and then like this, just sort of showing foil up to it, basically giving it some of that. And then obviously I like to change the angle as well, just to add a bit of excitement to a video. Yeah, pretty of that. So it's really weird. As much as all the excitement I used to get out of making things from sprues and a lot of the bigger pieces I made for Warhammer, I'm like 10 times more excited to be making this because I know this is something I'm actually going to use. Which, yeah, it does make a lot of difference. So I love making things. So almost irrespective of me making it and using it, I love making things. But to know I am going to be using it and other people are going to be seeing it, I do simply get a bit more of a buzz from it. But yeah, and the fact these are nice and simple, and again, get a bit of paint on this. It's like most things, when you make something, sometimes you can look at it and think, oh, what a pile of junk, quite literally, even though it's made from a pile of junk. But then when you get a bit of paint on it, obviously you can transform things, because you can then make plastic look like metal or wood or, well, plastic. So yeah, the painting process is quite a good process, because obviously it really does give things a lot of life. And even more so if you can get little LEDs incorporated into things somewhere along the lines as well. So yeah, so with some of the things I'm going to be making, like making a portal of some kind, definitely going to get LEDs involved in that as well. So they also split elves into elves and Eladrin, which is basically wood elves and high elves. Oh, okay. Yeah, when I was looking through, there's obviously with dwarfs, there's like different types of dwarfs. Is it hill dwarfs and some other dwarfs? All the basic sort of stats, I guess, but just a little bit different here and there. But again, I think that's going to be nice when I do play. The people I'm playing with are new to it, so we'll all be learning again. As I say, because obviously things have changed a lot since I last played, and well, and it's a long time since I last played, so I've changed a lot, as in I've forgotten a lot. So it's quite nice that we are almost all starting as newbies, which will be pretty cool. Again, apologies, I'm going to say your name so bad. Is that Javi or Javi Villarreal? Javi Villarreal? Yeah, I'm good, and you're from Mexico. Awesome. Oh, there you go. Hill dwarf and mountain dwarf. Yeah, cool. So we've got Mexico. So we've had we have Germany, America, New Zealand, and Mexico. So there you go, guys. If you're anywhere that's different from America, Mexico, New Zealand, or Germany, let me know where you're from. Because I always think it's cool when people watch and they are literally from all over the world. I think that's just amazing. But yeah, I'm doing good. So I'm not sure if it's Javi or Javi. But yeah, I'm good. How are you, buddy? So the other thing I will be doing with these floor plans is I've got quite a lot of magnets. So I'm going to be using magnets in these things. Oh, it's quite strong, these ones as well. Good old Amazon. So I'll be putting these obviously in this. So when I do put things down, oh pardon me, they all interlock. Just because it'd be nice to have things down that aren't obviously going to be knocked around and moved. Well, they probably will still get knocked around and moved, but having them sort of magnetised to each other will obviously help reduce that. The first one's correct. I forgot what the first one was. Was it Javi? After thing, I'm not sure if you've seen Factoria Tabletop YouTube page. He makes modular buildings, terrain, and props out of junk. Ah, okay. If there's any other channels out there, that are good if people share. Yeah, guys. Obviously, it's great you're watching me, but yeah, in the chat, if there's anyone you'd like or watch, and you think other people might get interest out of, pop them in the chat as well. I say that's the one thing I absolutely love about this hobby is everyone's willingness to share what they know, what they've learned, what they do with everyone else, so we can all learn from each other. Oh, it is perfect, Javi. Perfect, cool. So I'm so bad with pronunciations. unless your name's like John, Paul, David, or whatever. Yeah, everyone share anyone that you like and you think everyone else will get interest from, because I love, obviously, like you guys, I love watching YouTube. And yeah, and I would say probably about 80% of whatever I've done on my channel, I've probably learned from someone else. I've either adapted what they've done or just plain outright copied what they've done. There's probably only about 20% of whatever I've done that I've done and not seen someone else do, or initially I didn't see anyone else do it. But like most things, anything you can do these days or think of, it probably has been done by someone else. But it's good that you've done it, and then obviously it's then even good to go and watch other people how they do it, and then learn from what they've done. And obviously with my channel, you can also learn from my mistakes. So anything I do wrong, I include those videos as well, just because I think it's good to sort of see what can go wrong. Well, I might have things that go wrong that normally involve the resin, namely clear resin. Only because in England, I watch some of these channels that make things out of resin, and they make like a huge thing and pour like a bucket's worth, like a big proper bucket full of resin into this sort of plastic surround. Obviously leave it overnight, it cures. The resin you get in England, I pour small amounts that basically, if I did an amount like that would fill this cup, it gets that hot within 30 seconds to a minute. It gets that hot, it would break everything around it, it would crack everything around it. The model you put inside, because that's that Orc in the cryo chamber thingy that I had to go doing, I think I did 2 videos that you guys have seen. I actually did a 3rd video. Everything went really well. I've not got it here. I bought some silicone molds that are heat resistant, so I poured that in. Everything looked really good until I took it out of the mold, and then the actual figure itself, parts of that had melted. Because for whatever reason, the clear liquid resin we get in the UK, you can't. I could do a table's worth of the stuff if it was, say, 10-15 mil deep. You get anything deeper than about 50-60 millimeters, the reaction, it heats up that much, as in you can't touch it. If you touched it, you burn, your finger would just dissolve. So it basically dissolves anything around it. So that 3rd attempt, which I have filmed, I might make into a video, but I kind of got upset that so many times I'd done the same process, tried different things, and it didn't work. So yeah, so the last one, I finally got a silicone mold so it could resist the temperature. So it came out, I haven't got it because my daughter took it because she liked the look of it. So it came out really well, apart from the Orc that's inside, which I painted really well. Parts of him melted. To the extent parts of him melted, the paint on him melted, so parts of it have just sort of blurred into themselves, and it also caused a big hole inside of him that air came out of. So again, how these people can do these huge big resin things, I don't know. Obviously it's a different type of resin to the one we get in the UK, but it's so expensive though. The ex-boy mate just want to say he really loved what I did with the Orc bunker and the tank. Cool, cheers buddy. Yeah, scratch bashing stuff or scratch building is fun. Taking rubbish and making stuff with them is yeah, it's fun. It really is. I mean, I enjoy that, but it's different types of enjoyment. When I scratch build something, I get the enjoyment of I don't know what it's going to look like at the end until I get to the end, because you are building stuff out of rubbish. As much as you can have an idea of what you want to build, as in a tank or a building, you never quite know what you're going to get because it's all determined by what particular junk you have. So I kind of like it for that, but then sometimes I don't like it because I like to have in my head an idea of what it's going to look like, and then I make it look exactly how it looks in my head. So that's why sometimes I'm in the mood for building stuff out of junk, and sometimes I'm in the mood for building something out of pieces that I can actually cut, glue, put together to look exactly how I want them to look. So yeah, so it's kind of fun. After things off to be a taxi service. You have a good weekend, buddy. Don't work too hard, and yeah, get that set built. Whatever you're building, get it built. I want to see a video. I want to see what you're doing. Caveman heats up so much you could cook an egg in it. Mate, you could drop a chicken in this thing, a live one, and it would cook it. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, Tabletop Witchcraft. He's one I watch. There's a new one. Who's that new one I started watching? There's one I literally came across a few days ago, and he was doing like dungeon floor. I mean, lots of people do dungeon floor tiles. I can't think who it was. There's someone recently, literally say 2 days ago, I came across a new person. Let's see if I can find him. Give him a shout out. Not that he probably needs it, but where are you? Oh, why can't I find him? Ah, there he is. Yeah, Devs and Dice. Yeah, so I only came across his channel a few days ago. Well, I'm sure I saw him a long time ago, but it's only recently that that I subscribed and checked him out. But yeah, go and have a look at Devs and Dice. Does quite a lot of, well, kind of all sorts of stuff really. It's kind of like D&D-ish, but it can be used on like tabletop gaming. Because I'm going to have a go at building some trees. I've got some foliage to use. Yeah, I'm going to go build some trees, and he's done some trees. Well, I'm not sure I'm copying his trees or someone else's. So I've watched quite a few videos on trees, and there's quite a few different ways of making them. But yes, I'm going to be making my trees, or the body, out of sprues and glue. As in, some are sprues, some are glue. Just to sort of try out different ways, really. Matteo257, good to see you, doing a great job, loving your content, greetings from Poland. Cheers buddy, it's good to have you here. So there's somewhere else we've got Poland in the mix. Dafter Things is building a haunted house, or you can use an image. Yeah, Bill, I've been watching Bill for quite a while. But yeah, so yeah, Devs and Dice. Yeah, does a similar to me really. He does a bit of all sorts, I think. But yeah, he's got some great little builds on there. Yeah, cool. Right. Roll out a bit more on this. I think I'm going to live stream maybe for another half an hour ish. Only because I'm starting to get a bit hungry, and I think I need a bit more than a cookie. But yeah, I've certainly enjoyed doing a bit of a live stream, guys. It's nice to have you all here. I honestly didn't know if anyone would be watching, because I haven't done a live stream in ages, and I normally do them in the evening. But I just thought, as I got a spare couple of hours to be building, I will do a live stream. Yeah, it's a good thing with these is you can't really damage them badly, because obviously the worse they look, kind of the better. Although I'm going to cut a bit, because I think I've cut it at an angle. Yeah, so I mean the thing I'm going to save up for is the old like wire cutters. I think I'll put this on a thing and then just like push it through. Especially because obviously I want to make quite a lot of sort of different kind of tiles. I think that would be so much nicer, and obviously you get a neater edge as opposed to this where I've cut it at a bit of an angle by the looks of it. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to cut off the sliver though. As sharp as the knife is, I've taken the edge off, man. Right, I'm going to glue the edge back on. No one saw anything there. The edge didn't come off. When I say it, will this glue work or will this glue melt? Should really probably use PVA glue, but time will tell. Let's say it doesn't matter too much. I just don't want a big lump off. So has anyone got any exciting plans obviously for the weekend? Obviously in the UK we're kind of like halfway through, or over halfway through our Saturday. It's now 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah, anyone got any nice plans for the weekend other than making stuff? Oh, hit your nose. Oh, I can't get to my bin. Yeah, my bin is behind the green green screen even. I've got 2 of them balls. So a bit more cookie as I go and get something to eat. What edge exactly? Yeah, nothing to see here, and obviously the glue hasn't dissolved it too much. Yeah, so when I come to paint these, obviously I've got some just normal kids sort of poster paints and a load of PVA glue just to sort of like seal it up a bit. Let's do a little long corridor as well. So say some of these I'm going to be filming, some bits I won't. So I've got a rough idea for the like a one shot I'm going to do for my first D&D campaign. So I'm going to try it out on my kids first. I'm going to do like a simplified version for them, and then hopefully in 2 weeks' time I think I'm going to be doing my first sort of D&D sort of meet up with some people, which will be cool. Be face to face. Yeah, so one of them, if they are available, is a subscriber actually. I can't remember his name because I'm so pants with names. But yeah, so say if anyone is watching and you are from the Hampshire or Southern Hampshire area in the UK and you fancy meeting up and playing D&D, so yeah, send me an email. My email is normally in the description of all my videos. So yeah, send me an email saying whereabouts you are, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I think I'm looking at sort of Tuesday nights is basically a good night, and ideally what I'm looking at is yeah, once a week, a once a week meet up. Let's go right the way down actually. How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours. Doesn't time fly? Cool. Yeah, it's quite fun making these. It's nice when you're doing something that's nice and simple, effective, looks good, and yeah, just basically a bit of fun. So as I say, I'm going to have some square rooms, but I'm also having this round room, because I'm going to have a round room, but when they go into it, it then starts to spin, just to add some excitement. And I say the other thing that's quite cool, these little doors. So I'm really pleased how the doors are, because I'm going to have it so they walk in from one door, but then the good old, you walk into a room and there's like 6 doors. Which door do you go through? Because it'll be the usual kind of thing. There'll be like one door, which is the good door, and then all the other doors are going to be, well, death and peril to all who enter. And so that's why I love playing D&D, or I want to play it in person. So you can set the atmosphere with obviously dialogue, talking, the old imagination of the mind and all that kind of thing, but you can also actually physically see it and you can move the things. And I say the dice, I mean, I don't know if you've seen many of my videos, but obviously there's a company called oh, a bit dusty, Easy Roller Dice. They're one of my sponsors, and obviously they send me loads of lovely dice. So these ones are pretty cool. These ones are made from stone, but obviously it's that sort of fancy stone that's made of lots of different colours. So obviously stone dice, although my favourite ones are probably these ones, metal ones, nice and chunky, and yeah, nice little weight to these ones. So yeah, I love these dice, and then they've just sent me some new ones. I think they've got a new Kickstarter. So if you're into D&D dice, guys, go and check out Easy Roller Dice. They do a huge, big variety of dice. But they've got a new Kickstarter out, and they're going to send me some. I hoping to receive them in the next few days. So as soon as I do receive them, I'll do a video on it. But obviously the other great thing that they've done, let's get these other dice off. I've got dice everywhere. Is they've made this dice tray, but obviously a dice tray with kind of my face-ish. And yeah, I love nibbly knobbly bits. So they are making these specially to be able to sell to obviously you guys if you want to buy them. So obviously, those who don't know, dice tray, you roll your dice in there just so you don't lose them off the edge of the table. But yes, I think it's the end of this month. These are going to be available to buy. As soon as they let me know, I'll let you know. And I think they are doing a discount as well on all their dice. I believe it's either 10% or 15% off. Again, it should be in the link in the description. So if you are on the lookout for new dice, they also do big sets of normal 6-sided dice. So you can get like a set of about, I don't know, it's about 20 or 30 dice in one set, all 6-sided. Or you can get the sets that are obviously D&D sort of style, where you get the 12-sided, 4-sided, 20-sided, 8-sided, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, go and check them out, guys. Easy roll of dice. Loads of dice. So I do like these ones, just because they're made of stone. I think they're great. But say I'd like the weight of the metal ones. They are cool. But yeah, and obviously say they really do a crazy amount of dice. Any kind of dice you can think of, as in look, they kind of do, which is pretty cool. But yeah. Andre might go fishing tomorrow. Oh, cool. That's one thing I've never done. I've never been fishing. Often thought about it, but never quite got around to it. So I would see fishing as a great escape from having to do sort of family stuff or work stuff or, well, anything really. Oh, caught that between my legs. Blood King Bro is visiting the NEACA craft show. Sounds good. Well, in fact, it's got a craft show and it sounds cool. Yeah, it's funny. So earlier on today, I went to B&Q to try and see if I could buy this there. They didn't have any, so obviously I've ordered this now from Amazon. But there's a big is it Hobbycraft? It's a big Hobbycraft shop near the B&Q that I go to. And it's great because you walk in there, because I wanted to get some like PVA glue and some paints. But you walk in there, and I love it because you walk in and they do obviously any kind of art and craft of any kind. So quite often you'll walk in and you'll walk out with stuff that you didn't even know you were going in for. I don't go there that often because I say I would walk out every time with something. I don't think I could walk in there and not buy something. So yeah, I guess that's why I normally buy things from Amazon, because I know what I want. I go on Amazon and I just click on it and buy it. Whereas you go to a shop, I think there's more chance of you buying stuff that wasn't quite on the list. And say in some cases you haven't even ever thought about, but it's like, oh, this looks good. Well, I was saying I kind of walked out with more of this. So I'd already bought some from Amazon, which was this green one. But I saw that, I thought, oh, that would sort of like break up the colour nicely to have sort of some trees that are sort of like winter, autumny ones, and some that are more like summery, full green, bushy ones. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a go at messing with this stuff, because I've never used this sort of stuff before. Again, it's always fun to try new things. Hopefully it'll all work out and succeed. Capman is 3D sculpting. Oh yes, I need to get into that. Polish up and release on Thingiverse. Yeah, see, Thingiverse is great, but say I'm now kind of using more. What's it called? My Mini Factory. But yeah, I mean, yeah, both places are great, obviously. Manowar's been making BMC style dungeon tiles for years. Hot wire table, yes, that's what I need. Some shifting land jigs are a godsend. What's the shifting land jigs? Are they just like the bits of wood that you can use to vary the heights or the angles and all that kind of stuff? Again, because I've not really used this stuff before, that's why I've not rushed out and bought stuff. Because normally I'm a bugger. if there's something I start doing, I think, oh yeah, I go mad and I buy all the equipment. Sometimes there's that old was it the saying, all the gear, no idea. Sometimes that can be me. I think, yeah, get all the stuff, it'll be easy. Generally, hobbycraft, making stuff is easy because you can go and watch YouTube and find out how to do stuff. But yeah, I do normally rush out and buy stuff. I do want to get the old wire cutter. So purely for things like this, just being able to push it through and getting that nice square edge, or having one of those jig things at an angle, so you can get angled pieces, because it does make things obviously easier, better, neater. But yeah. Cadman, it was a nice notification. So now, talking about notifications, guys, when I do my videos and they come out, do you all get notified? Because it seems as the months go on, it seems like less people get notified when my videos come out. Because about 6 months ago, when I put a video out, I would get, say, 1,000 views almost within the hour. Or generally, it was always about 1,000 views, sometimes more. Whereas now, I think I'm lucky if I get 600 views in the first hour. Which might not seem like a big difference, but YouTube is really weird the way the analytics work. It kind of goes on, whatever a video gets within the first hour almost sets a precedent for how well that video then gets promoted by YouTube. So you put a video on, and in that first hour it gets, say, 1,000 views or 1,500 views. YouTube goes, oh great, people are watching this, we'll promote it to more people. But if you put a video on and it gets, say, 500-600 views, YouTube goes, it's alright, but we're not going to push it very far. And that's something that seems to have happened to my channel over the last sort of 6 months. In that first hour, I was always getting 1,000 views, if not more. And the content I'm doing now, obviously now is going to be changing a little bit. But recently, it's all still been the same stuff, being Warhammer related or sprue related. And yeah, it's just getting less views in that initial hour. And I'm just wondering if that's because of notifications. People aren't getting notified, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm waffling now. I'll keep waffling. Ooh, another weird one here. Is it Zopyrion Rex? Or Zopyrion? Zopyrion Rex. That sounds better. Dang, it's been too long since I watched one of your videos. It's been a long time since I've done a live stream, which is why I had problems initially with my sound and other stuff. But what am I building? An Orc temple? Not necessarily an Orc temple. No, these are going to be dungeon floor plans for any, well, dungeons, really, as I want to get into, or get back into Dungeons and Dragons, or D&D. So yeah, I'm making a variety of floor plans, some that I know are specific, as in like this round floor one, and some just sort of generic sort of pathways that will obviously lead up to a room with a door. But yeah, so this really does excite me, and I can't wait to get some people around and play my first game of this in 30 odd years. But Shifting Lands is a brand website that provides hobby supplies. Okay, yeah, and then jigs for cutters. YouTube doesn't suggest your visit as much to me anymore. Yeah, again, so that's the one thing I don't like about YouTube is, I'm going to say, analytics, algorithms, and that kind of stuff. I like analytics because you can look at it and you can work out what's working well, what isn't working, what thumbnails work, what titles work, and all that kind of stuff. But then sometimes YouTube does things and it's like, well, why is it now doing that? It makes no logic to why it's doing things. And that's what I seem to have found with my videos being recommended or suggested. It just doesn't seem to be doing it as much, and it's like, I don't know why, which is kind of annoying, really. But hey ho. Thing is though, like I've said all the time, the reason for this channel is because I love making things. It's not, I wasn't doing the channel to make money. To make money is obviously awesome, but the channel is because I like making things. But I say, it's just when the analytics go weird, it's like, why? It makes no sense. Because I'm a very logical, methodical kind of person. So when things don't follow a certain route, it's like, why? Why not? Anyway, I'm waffling. Capman gets notifications on your phone, but you also live about a third of the planet away from you, so can't always watch them on release. Well, that's why, again, for me, I think 8 o'clock in the evening UK time seems to be one of the best. Oh, my phone thing's not working. Looking for the phone. Look at that little cat. I think my phone's probably turned off because it's not plugged into anything, so it's probably run out of battery. Right, I think then this is probably a good time for me to sort of start wrapping up, as that's run out of charge and I've not got a lead that will reach it. So better plug it in. So you're literally going to be watching me and a black screen, well, and a cat wagging its tail, which probably isn't a whole lot of fun. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to end it there, guys. Yeah, thank you for joining me. As I say, it's been nice to know that there are still people who want to watch me. Because I haven't done a live stream in, I don't know, I want to say 6 months. It's got to be at least 6 months since I've last done a live stream. So it's good to know that some people still do want to watch me. And again, so especially as this is a lot earlier than when I used to do live streams. I might do another live stream tomorrow night, so Sunday, 8 o'clock in the evening, just to see how that one goes. It's not definite. Saying any live streams I do now will be ad hoc, and I'll only sort of notify. There'll only be a notification about me doing one 2-3 hours before I do it. But yeah, so guys, if you're obviously watching now, Sunday evening, 8 PM, there might be a live stream, but don't hold me to that. Anyway, I'm going to go. Cheers for being there, guys. Hope you enjoyed what I've done, although I feel like I haven't really done a whole lot, because with all live streams, I have great intentions of getting loads done, and then generally I waffle on and talk lots, and don't get as much done as I want. But hopefully that's still fine, because I'm sure a lot of you guys here are here to hear me waffle on. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm definitely going to go now. Cheers. You guys take care, and bye for now.